What kind of demand do you see?
Yeah, well, we've seen, thanks Ed for having me, first of all, and I enjoyed the clip. What we see is steady demand, I would say. I think what he's talking about is that we are seeing some shifts as customers are looking for lower cost carriers over the main airlines. So he's probably benefiting from that and seeing a little bit of a move in his direction. I think overall air demand in Western Europe and in North America, et cetera, is pretty steady. But we're seeing generally price declines across the markets. So I think what he's discussing is a shift in his favor, but it's not necessarily that's true for everything across the board.
Peter, what fascinates me about Expedia and the portfolio of brands and platforms is the granularity of your data. You know, you can tell me the demographics of people that are or are not traveling, where they're traveling to. Right now, what does Gen Z look like? I know that's a very specific question, but who's traveling, and particularly how have you seen the younger traveler behave in the most recent quarter?
Yeah, I think we don't tend to break it that way, but I can tell you that the travelers, that leisure travel has remained strong. Corporate still not back to pre-COVID levels. You see a lot of differences geography to geography. You know, we still have Asia is still opening up to a certain extent, which has been a tailwind in Asia and Latin America, whereas the West has sort of normalized, I would say. And in general, by and large, people have been waiting for travelers to trade down, look for cheaper alternatives. We haven't seen that very much. Now, it's true that at the lower end of the market, you see it a little bit more. But as you know, Ed, we introduced our new grand loyalty program called One Key. And what we're seeing as people get accustomed to that is they're actually trading up when they have value that they can use to get a better room. Like if they have One Key Cash, which is our rewards currency, they trade up to a better room or a better experience or use that for something better.
Alongside, sorry to interrupt, Peter, I was going to say alongside rewards, you've also focused kind of on content creation and influencers on social media. Has that given any sort of tangible boost to your sales?
Yeah, well, we're using all the latest marketing and reach tools we can. I mean, for us, it's an education process. When we launch something like One Key, we want people to understand it. Where you have One Key now in Vrbo, which is the only place you can get rewards and vacation rentals, we want to make sure that people that are interested in vacation rentals understand and appreciate the benefits. So sometimes, old-fashioned advertising isn't the best way, and it's easier to reach people with more information through influencers and such. But, you referred to all the data we have on Gen Z. That's really what's powering our product now as we make the product better and better. The fact that we have all that data is what allows us to now take friction out of the process, use AI and machine learning to make the experience better and the product better, and that's really where we're focused.
There's the Expedia that the consumer and our audience around the world knows, and then there's the B2B business. When you look at your growth trajectory going forward, what is the split in contribution of those two?
Yeah, well, B2B's had a very good run for us, and in part, as I mentioned earlier, it has to do with the exposure of the business, which is exposed more to Asia and some of the markets that have come back more recently, post-COVID. But also, we've been building that business, building the technology in that business, expanding our customer base. So that business has seen, growth in the 20s for the last several years, 20% plus top line growth. Last quarter was closer to 26, 27. But we expect that to continue. It is a smaller part of our overall business. And as you know, we've done a lot of work in the last couple of years on our core consumer business with One Key, with the launch of new products and capabilities. So we expect our bigger business to accelerate now. But the B2B business probably has slightly more, tailwinds still for a bit.
Peter, very, very quick. Friday, your stock took off like a rocket, biggest jump since November 2020. You must be happy about that.
I don't pretend to understand the markets, but we've just been chipping away at it, and I think the market's starting to understand that all the work we've done has set us up in a better way to go forward than most of our competitors, and that's what we're really excited about. So it's nice to see the market recognize it.